Deep within the halls of Outpost Theta, Gelu worked endlessly on repairing the facility's teleporter. As he finished his work, he grabbed a radio and listened in on the Bionicles' efforts at the Emmerich Plains. Gunfire and screams crackled through the speakers as Gelu gripped his weapons. Anger coursing through him, Gelu stepped into the teleporter with one goal in mind: reclaiming his title. With a flash, the vengeful warrior was gone, and silence fell upon Outpost Theta. The battle raged on the Emmerich Plains. The Bionicles desperately held the line against the Cybertronians as gunfire and artillery rained down on faltering soldiers. With the Leviathan gone, the Omega blasted the Bionicles' positions with ease. Just as the Cybertronians began their advance, Gelu warped into the fray, destroying those who stood before him. Then he approached Kongu, who was shocked to see him. Gelu demanded that he be recrowned the leader of his people, but Kongu denied him, saying that he lost his title because he does not listen to others. Gelu looked at Kongu, as his words sunk deep into his heart. However, still prideful, Gelu charged the Omega as a final message to Kongu that he was indeed powerful. Gelu was able to disable the Omega's legs and cannons. However, in his prime, Lord Razgriz struck him down. On the ground, the tyrant gave Gelu no mercy as he slit the hero's throat. Kongu watched in horror. The Cybertronians began one final assault on the Bionicles' position, breaking through their lines and slaughtering their forces. The Bionicles were on their last legs until the Telematorn's voice cracked through Kongu's headset. The teleporter was fully charged. The Bionicles rallied as the heroes warped into the battlefield. The Cybertronians, in awe of the power of the heroes, were obliterated and pushed back. Razgriz was outraged. Kongu led the charge, with Conan close by, but as they pushed forward, one of the heroes was hit by an artillery shell, which caused it to explode. Kongu and Conan were caught in the blast. Kongu rose up from the ground with only a few scratches, but Conan was not as fortunate. Kongu cried out as he held Conan's shattered body on the ground. He held his friend close as Conan died in his arms. Kongu screamed to the heavens, cursing Razgriz for his crime. He stood up and walked slowly towards Lord Razgriz as bullets whistled past him. Both warriors stared at each other, with weapons drawn as the battle echoed around them. Razgriz charged Kongu with his blade drawn. Their steel clashed, with sparks flying through the air. They dealt blows and shattered armor with every swing of their swords. Kongu was fast, however, and was able to strike Razgriz, disabling the tyrant's ability to fight. Kongu watched as his enemy squirmed away. He looked over to the body of his friend, Gelu, and walked towards it. Razgriz was close to the rifle now. With one last push, he grabbed the weapon and stood up. As he turned to face his foe, Kongu impaled him with Gelu's sword. Razgriz looked into the eyes of his opponent as he crashed to the ground, dead. Kongu stared at the body of the tyrant, then turned away to see his brothers defeating the last of the Cybertronians. Kongu solemnly walked over to Gelu once more, resting the hero's blade on his chest. With one last salute, Kongu gave Gelu the respect he deserved. Kongu composed himself and stepped away from the scene. The war was over.